Hey, welcome back everyone to Party Town. I'm Brett, your host this week, and boy, it sure is great to be back. You know, I think it's been a whole month already, and over those last 30 days, you know what I've been doing? I've been practicing on my cicada hummer here, and I got some pretty good songs for you. Let me see if I can try. Well, you know, I'm still practicing. I don't exactly have it right, but I have a lot of confidence that if I keep practicing, I'm going to get there, and it'll be better. Trust me, trust me. And you know what we're talking about this month? We're talking about confidence, right? Confidence is learning to see yourself the way that God sees you. That's right. You see, God made you, and He made you a fantastic being. You're smart, and you're pretty, and you're confident, and you can just about tackle any of life's problems. That's right. So when we kind of realized that we were made in God's image and He made us a special way, as soon as we learned to look at ourselves the way that God made us, I tell you what, we can conquer anything. We can take on any of life's challenges. You see, I'm still kind of waiting for God to make me a good kazoo player. I've been working on that for the last 30 days. Yeah. Anyway, I have a bunch of these little things over here, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I could get some volunteers from the audience to come up here and try to help me with my training regimen. Is there any volunteers out there today? Who do I have? Come on up. Hey, look at this usual cast of characters. That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, these little cicada hummers, they also call them kazoos. This is a very delicate instrument, and it's very hard to make it hum. And today we're going to make it even harder by throwing in a physical challenge. I'm talking about the toughest, most challenging, physically strenuous activity you can ever think of with a kazoo. So I'm going to have you four line up on stage, and the first thing we're going to do is a jumping jacks. You know how to do a jumping jack?
Yeah.
10 of them? While you're humming a kazoo?
Yeah.
All right. And then you're going to drop and you're going to give me 10 sit-ups. You know how to do a sit-up?
Yes.
While humming a kazoo?
No. Yeah.
All right, all right. And whoever can manage to do those 20 exercises the fastest while humming a kazoo might be our winner. You think you can handle this?
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be exciting. So I tell you what, I'm going to step down here and I'm going to count you off. On your marks, get set, go! Sit-ups, sit-ups, here we go, 10 sit-ups. And was that a full sit-up? I'm not sure, that was pretty close. Pretty good, pretty good. I don't know if that one qualified. I'm not happy. I'm going to go back and review on the judges. Very well done. I tell you what, the judges say it was too close to call, and for the tiebreaker, I want to see you guys do your best hoedown, meaning getting jiggy with it, and you got to hum a pretty cool kazoo tune. You got to call up on first.
I choose.
You ready?
Yeah.
You got it, buddy. On your marks, get set, go.
You got dance too. Alright. I don't know.
That was good. All right, here we got second contestant. Come on up, ladies.
I didn't know.
What do you got? What do you got?
I got something that's brand new.
On your marks, get set, go. Yay! Very good, very good. And our last contestant. Okay. Come on, Jude. What do you got? On your marks, get set, showtime.
He needs to think. You gotta sing too.
Oh!
I'm the
Hey! Good job, buddy. Good job. And last but not least, Emma Grace Daniels for her debut, Kazoo. On your marks, get set, go!
Yay!
Hey! All right. Man, that was just music to my ears. How fantastic was that? All right, good job, guys. How about we all make some music together and let's worship our God? Come on.
Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Press play!
Jesus, we know we belong here because of your love for us that goes on and on forever. Jesus, we know you are with us wherever we go. You're there, we'll always be together.
So sing along with me for all the joy he brings.
It's going down. Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party's hopping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Get in the
The
mix.
beat is dropping.
Get in the mix.
Feet are stomping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play. Press play.
Jesus, we know we belong here because of your love for us that goes on and on forever. Jesus, we know you are with us wherever we go. You're there, we'll always be together.
So sing along with me for all the joy he brings.
It's going down. Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party's hopping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Get in the
The
mix.
beat is dropping.
Get in the mix.
Feet are stomping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play. Press play. Press play. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna break it down one time, y'all. You gotta sing it out with all you got. Y'all ready? Come on, come on. Clap your hands like this. Have confidence to get in the mix. Clap your hands like this. Have confidence to get in the mix. Now clap your hands like this. Like this. Have confidence to get in the mix. Now clap your hands like this. Like this. Everybody get in the mix.
Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party's hopping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Get in the
The
mix.
beat is dropping.
Get in the mix.
Feet are stomping.
Get in the mix.
Everybody say, it's time to press play.
Oh, oh, oh. Get in the mix.
Press play.
Oh, oh, oh. Get in the mix.
Press play.
Oh, oh, oh. Get in the mix.
Press play.
Oh, oh, oh.
Press play.
You're the best around. Not gonna feel too good to do. Hey everybody, my name is Graham, and today I'm following in the groundbreaking footsteps of my ancestors. I'm making a mixtape. You see, back in olden times, when someone wanted to listen to music, they needed one of these cassette tapes. And if you were fortunate enough to have one of these dual cassette recorders with high-speed dubbing, you could put up to 90 minutes of your favorite songs onto one rad mixtape. I'm making this mixtape for my friend Erica, who's been running a lot of 5Ks lately. The Eye of the Tiger. And I'm only picking super encouraging songs. That way, Erica will have confidence. Confidence is learning to see yourself the way God sees you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wouldn't it be simpler just to make a playlist that Erica could listen to on her phone? Maybe. But This is all a part of the plan. My plan is to give this mixtape to Erica so she can listen to it while she's running. She probably doesn't have a tape player, so she'll borrow mine. And if she carries this thing around with her everywhere, she'll build up arm strength. Oh, I didn't say it was a good plan. Oh man, another one bites the dust. Sometimes plans don't work out the way you expect. But as you'll see in today's story, sometimes there's a bigger and better plan. Oh. Gotta switch to side 2, I guess. How did people even survive back then?
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Joshua, chapters 5 and 6.
For 40 years, God's people wandered the desert. At last, they reached the land that God had promised them. Joshua led them to the edge of the rushing Jordan River.
The priests will carry the ark of the Lord.
The ark was a beautiful chest that reminded the Israelites that God was with them.
As soon as the priests step into the Jordan, it will stop flowing.
Sure enough, as soon as the foot of the first priest touched the edge of the river, the waters parted. God's people crossed on dry land, just as God had led them through the Red Sea 40 years before.
God did this so that all the nations on earth would know that He is powerful.
Soon after, the Amorites and Canaanites living in the land had heard what God had done. Fearful, they retreated back to their towns, including the high-walled city of Jericho.
Oh, great. Like, how do we fight them now?
God will show us the way.
That evening, Joshua left camp and snuck toward Jericho. The walls loomed impossibly strong.
So tall.
As he turned, Joshua saw a man standing nearby holding a sword.
Who are you? Are you on our side or the side of our enemies?
I have come as the commander of the Lord's army.
Joshua knelt down, face to the ground.
What message does my Lord have for me?
Take off your sandals. The place you are on is holy ground.
Joshua tugged off his shoes.
I have handed Jericho over to you.
Joshua listened carefully as the Lord delivered a message, a battle plan unlike any other.
Wow. Okay, we'll do it, Lord.
Joshua called for the priests.
Get the Ark of the Covenant, and I need 7 of you to march in front of the Ark with trumpets.
Sorry, just warming up.
Joshua gathered the army too.
Time to move out.
Like, do we get to attack now?
March around the city.
Just, like, go in circles?
Some of you march ahead of the Ark of the Lord, and the rest of you march behind.
Can we at least shout and stuff? Hey, Jericho, you guys smell like cheese!
Don't give a war cry or raise your voices until the day I tell you to shout. But the priests must blow their trumpets. Forward, march!
The entire army, including the priests, marched one time around Jericho, just as the Lord had instructed Joshua.
Now can we get them?
Back to camp, men. We march again tomorrow.
The next morning, the Israelites marched around the city once again. And then on day 3, once again on day 4, not to mention day 5, and once again on day 6.
We march again at sunrise.
I have blisters.
At dawn on the 7th day, the army and priests formed their strange parade once more. But this time, once they finished marching around the city one time, Joshua called out,
Keep marching!
Again? My feet are killing me.
The Lord has told me we must march around the city 7 times today.
On the 7th time around, the priests blew a long blast on their trumpets.
Now shout! The Lord has given you the city!
As the shouts of the Israelites rang out in the clear morning air, something incredible happened. The massive walls of Jericho began to tremble, The gates shivered and quaked. Jagged cracks ran through the heavy stones. Rocks began to tumble from the tops of the walls. Little rocks, large stones, giant boulders, until at last the walls collapsed, crashing in on themselves. The ground quaked, and plumes of dust burst into the air. As the air cleared, the Israelites stared in amazement. The city of Jericho stood wide open.
Take the city!
With nothing standing in their way, the Israelites charged right in. That day, they completely defeated the city of Jericho. God was with Joshua, and he became well known everywhere in the land.
When God told Joshua to take over the city of Jericho, Joshua probably thought of a battle plan. And I bet his battle plan didn't involve marching around the city wall for a week blowing trumpets. But Joshua followed God, and the Israelites took the city. He had confidence that God's plan was bigger and better. And that's not the only time God proved his plan was better. When Jesus, God's son, died on the cross, Jesus' disciples had to wonder, what is God thinking? Then in 3 days, when Jesus came back to life, it all became clear. God's plan is always better. The truth is, none of us know what the future holds. Your family might have to move out of the neighborhood or out of the state. You might get sick or break a bone. You might not get put on the team you tried out for. But when things don't go according to your plan, that's when you need to remind yourself, God's got you. You may not always know what God's plan is, but keep following him and have confidence that his plan is bigger and better. That's the one thing to remember today. God's plan is the best plan. My plan to make a mixtape for Erica is not the best plan. But it's still a lot of fun. Oh no, it's unraveled. Oh wait, no worries. I've got an idea. Huh? Just like my ancestors. I'll see you next time.
I tell you what, I wish I was as good as those trumpet playing priests. Wow, they brought down the walls of Jericho. Man, that's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, well, if I keep practicing, one of these days I'll get enough confidence, I'll be able to do something like that too. Let's see. We can't always see how things will work out in God's plan. Sometimes we just have to trust in his big plan. Just like the Israelites, when they went to take down the walls of Jericho, all they saw was a huge wall and a daunting task. But they had faith, and God came through like he always does. I want you to consider when Jesus Christ was crucified, all his disciples were like, man, we just lost our best friend and our Savior. What's going on? And they had to trust that it was all going to work out in the end. And it did when Jesus showed back up. A couple days later, he told them all about the grand plan, and it all started to make sense to everybody. You see, it's tough sometimes when you don't get to see the whole picture, and you have to rely on God's good grace and his plan. You have to trust, obey, and have confidence that he's going to come through for you. He always does. I can guarantee you that. So, everybody just remember, have faith in God. He's got his best intentions for you. He's going to make it work in the end. Hang in there. Have a great month, and I'll see you all next time.
So sing along with me for all the joy he brings.
It's going down. Get in the mix.
We're not stopping.
Get in the
The
mix.
party